anytime Will Grayson is mentioned, I just get like this big burst of serotonin. Hey guys, what's up? It's Ashley. Welcome back to my channel. It is storming outside currently. It is Friday. It is raining, and I thought it would just kind of be the perfect day to start my reread of Punk 57. So if you watched my June TBR, I did mention that I'm going to be starting a new reading series on my channel where I reread my old favorite 5-star reads and see if they're still 5-star reads to me. So this is the book that got me into the romance genre. It's the first romance book that I ever read that wasn't historical, and so I have to credit it like to why I love dark and bully romances so much. And I don't know. I'm obsessed with this book. I love it, and I'm just very excited to go back and reread it. So I've already set up my tabbing system, and I'm very excited for this one because I do need to mention very quickly that I do have a Will Grayson tab, because as we all know, Will Grayson is the cousin of our male hero in this book, and I read this before Devil's Night, and so I didn't really care about Will then, and obviously now Will is my favorite book boyfriend ever, so we'll see how crazy I go with that. But yeah, I'm really excited to reread this. I'm hoping I can get this done today because this is a quicker read. It's just a little over 300 pages, but yes, I'm very excited to do this reread. Okay, checking in real fast. It is much later now. I pretty much ended up going shopping with my mom, do a little bit of that, and then I came home and I just took a massive nap. So I woke up and I decided to come down to the basement just because it's a little bit cooler down here and get some reading. But I've read a chapter and a half. But from what I've read so far, I'm still really enjoying this. I do have to say though, for some reason, I thought Ryan was blonde, but she actually has light brown hair, and I don't know why I forgot that. I don't even know if that's important or not, but I'm just saying Ryan's not a blonde. But I am really enjoying this. There's already been one reference to Devil's Night, so that made me very, very excited. But yeah, I definitely can tell this is still going to be enjoyable, definitely. But, you know, like I said, it's still very early on, but I have tabbed a lot from the chapter and a half that I've read. So I'm just going to keep reading, and I really would like to try to finish this. Like I said, it's just kind of one of those lazy Fridays where I definitely can sit and get through this if I try to. I am also reading this book, and I'm really enjoying it, so I might take a little bit of a pause and jump back into this one. But for now, this is going to be the focus for the next couple hours. So I'm going to get myself cozy down here, maybe put on some Grey's Anatomy in the background, and yeah, we'll just read this. Okay, I'm pausing real quick because I have a Will Grayson mention here. So I had forgotten that Misha drives Will's iconic truck, right? And he says, my cousin left me this truck when he was indisposed for 3 years. Now, I'm trying to remember the timeline for Conclave and Nightfall and all of that because I started a reread in the fall, and I know people have asked me when, like, Kill Switch is coming. Listen, I made it a third of the way through the book, and then my mood just tanked after that. So I still want to finish that, trust me. I love that series. I absolutely love it. And honestly, reading this is making me want to pick that up again. But I'm trying to remember the timeline of when Will, like, disappeared, because when Misha says he was indisposed for 3 years, I can't remember how long Will just went and partied on a beach. Because I remember, like, that was a thing. Like, after Damon got with Winter and started his family, Will just kind of went off and started planning things. But I thought that Misha and Ryan were both in the Conclave novella, like, trying to figure out where Will was. And right here it says Will's back and he hasn't come to claim the truck. So I'm just trying to figure out this timeline because, like I said, in the last few books of the Devil's Night series, Misha and Ryan are already together. So I don't know. This is just a lot of math I'm trying to figure out right now. But I'm going to keep reading, but this is so much fun. I'm loving this. Okay, it is Saturday, 6:30 at night, so next day. But I did manage to get through to chapter 14 on here. Still loving it. I read the library scene. I read the truck scene. And now, like I said, once again, this was my intro to contemporary romance. So other than the historicals I've read, this really was my first intro to spice. And I remember the first time I read the truck scene, I was like, okay. And once again, it was just so good. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. If you've read this book, then you know how good this scene is. But anyway, so I went to bed last night and I was thinking more and more about this timeline thing that's really bothering me. And then I got an oh duh moment. Yeah, Will was in prison. And I'm pretty sure that's the part that he was talking about. So timeline-wise, I'm pretty sure now we're, like, between prison and before Will leaves again. I'm pretty positive that's what's happening. But anyway, yeah, so I am going to try to finish this tonight. But yeah, I've got a fresh Dr. Pepper. I've got my book. I'm wearing the same clothes that I wore yesterday. So let's do this. Sunday afternoon. I just finished this. I ended up not reading this at all last night. I said I was going to, but I ended up getting so sucked into Dark Notes that I just had to finish it. I finished that this morning, and then I finished this one, and it was a great time. So obviously, I am standing by my 5-star read. That is the whole point of these rereading vlogs. I'm trying to see if these are still going to be 5 stars, and this was still a 5-star. Now, I don't know if that's just because of the whole nostalgia that it was my first contemporary romance, or if it's the nostalgia of the Thunder Bay world with Devil's Night. And I mean, every time Will Grayson was merely mentioned, I was underlining, highlighting, tabbing, and I had forgotten this because obviously I have read, it's been a long time since I've read this book, but there is a scene in here where Misha gets arrested, and I do remember that, but Will, Michael, and Kai show up, and they have a little bit of a scene, and it was just very, very, it just gave me all the serotonin. Anytime Will Grayson is mentioned, I just get like this big burst of serotonin. But yeah, it was just really good, and I did finally figure out the timeline here because I know it was bothering me. So this is basically, I'm pretty positive this is between the events of Corrupt and Hideaway, because Damon was not in there at all, and you know Damon and Will are like ride or die, and so this is basically at the point where Damon is, they don't know where Damon is. So it was just really fun to read that, and it definitely is making me want to jump back into my Devil's Night reread. The unfortunate part is I really do like saving that series for fall time, so I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, for a reread, this was just so much fun. And once again, Penelope Douglas, there's just something about their writing that gets me every single time. And this is a bully romance, and now that I've read so many more dark romances and bully romances since this one, I can say this is a very, very tame bully romance compared to the newer ones that I've read, but I still love it. And like I said, because the first contemporary romance I ever read was so dark and twisted and a bully romance, it's definitely shaped my reading taste over the years. I always tend to go to the darker books. Case in point, I was reading Dark Notes, but yeah, I really, really enjoyed this. Once again, I talked a little bit about this yesterday, but the truck scene is still one of my top favorite spicy scenes of all time. I'm not really a big spice person. I've said that a few times in some videos that when I read, I'm not looking for levels of spice. I really only like spice if it pushes the plot forward. And to me, the truck scene really pushes the plot forward. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. You know, Misha and Ryan have this relationship that, I don't know, it's just, there's something about the whole childhood friends to enemies to lovers that is just so good. It's also why I love Bully by Penelope Douglas as well, because it fits that same format. But yeah, this was just really, really fun to reread. I kind of want to reread Birthday Girl next, just because my birthday is next week, and I don't know, I love reading it around this time. But yeah, so this is going to stay a perfect 5-star read. I mean, 5 stars alone for the mere several times that Will Grayson was mentioned. But this was fun. I loved it. And we will have to see what book I will pick next for this series. I'm thinking maybe Wall of Winnipeg and Me. That was also one of the first contemporaries I read. It's been a while, but I kind of want to save it for football season, so I'm not sure. I have quite a stack. Maybe Archer's Voice. I've really been feeling Archer's Voice lately, and I know that is kind of a perfect read to read this time of year. But like I said, I will go through my stack and decide, but that is going to do it for this vlog. But as always, don't forget to hit like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!